of years, there have been some outstanding breakthroughs of communication between humans and animals. Some outstanding examples being those between us and cats, sharks and dolphins. But bringing to our studio today a most outstanding example is one Professor Timothy Fielding.
Good evening.
And his experiments with a gorilla called Gerald. Professor, can Gerald actually speak a few words of English that we humans would understand?
Oh yes, he can speak a few words of good English, can't you, Gerald? Even though it was difficult to get into this, even to this stage, we did. But when I first captured Gerald in the Congo in '97, I think it was, and
96. Professor, it was 96.
Oh yes, 96 it was. But there was an awful lot of work even getting to this stage. He was enormously slow and useless. I had to do a sort of one-to-one basis with him.
Yes, if I might be permitted to butt in at this point too. Professor, I feel I should put out the fact that I have done a considerable amount of work on the project myself. And if I do say so, Professor, your teaching methods, as you like to call them, do leave a little bit to be desired.
Well, that's being a little bit ungrateful, isn't it?
And your diction, for instance, is
I'm sorry, Gerald. Can I just put this into some kind of perspective, okay? When I first called Gerald in the Congo in '96, he was completely wild.
Wild? I was absolutely livid.
Well, clearly that's all changed now.
Yes, helps.
Because you've moved into the Professor's house, haven't you?
Yes, he is living with me now, yes.
But not in the biblical sense, of course.
Yes, actually, I was going to ask you, Gerald, do you have a mate?
Yes, I've got lots of mates. There's the Professor, there's his sister Claire, there's the Ewhurst Players group, there's also the Professor's neighbour Angela, and also...
Well, no, actually, that's not quite...
Oh, I see what you mean. Crumpet. Well...
You didn't tell me you were friendly with Angela.
Well, do I have to tell you everything?
To come back to my earlier question, Professor, how has Gerald reacted to being separated from his family?
Well, to begin with, Gerald did make various attempts to make contact with his flange of gorillas.
Yes, well, actually, it is a whoop, Professor. It is a whoop of gorillas, Professor. It is a flange of baboons.
Yes. He did send them the occasional letter or two, even though I couldn't see the points of it. I mean, why they probably just ate them or wiped their bottoms with them, I don't know.
Look, Professor, I know that you never got on with my mother.
Well, she didn't exactly like me, did she?
Look, she got on perfectly well with David Attenborough.
David Attenborough? That's all out here, Isaac, isn't it? All I ever hear about is David Buddy Attenborough.
Look, can we leave poor David out of this?
Oh, shut up and have a banana, Gerald.
All right, then I will.
To come back to my earlier question, Gerald, I hear that you've been doing a lot of TV work, adverts, etc. I mean, how do you spend your earnings?
Well, I suppose you expect me to say that as a gorilla living amongst humans, I would spend most of my earnings on peanuts, bananas, greenery, and carpet cleaner.
No, not at all.
Well, I do spend at least 95% of it on those sort of things, but the rest goes on little luxuries. I'm quite keen on Michael Bublé.
No, you're not kidding, are you? When Come Fly With Me is blaring out upstairs, well, I'm downstairs trying to do some well-needed work.
Look, the production on that album is tremendous.
My scientific brilliance, and all you talk about is Michael Bublé.
I went to evening classes.
Oh, shut up about your flipping evening classes, Gerald.
As Aristotle once said, Zoe ine in anguri ikonise kizavasa sandinato.
You arrogant little chimpanzee. You're ruining my life's work. It's good enough without you jumping up and down the garden eating the daffodils.
I do not eat daffodils.
Oh, somebody does, don't they?
Well, that really is all we have time for. Gerald, Professor, thank you so much. Good night.